What's going on, Money Morning Live, and welcome to Power Profit Trades. Hope you guys enjoyed your time with 8Baller. Now it's time to flip the script. We're going to be talking a little bit about cryptocurrencies today and more with your boy, Tom Gentile. Let's bring him in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey everybody, happy Monday. Welcome to Power Profit Trades. It is Microcurrency Monday. We're seeing a blast off in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and practically everything in the digital asset space, including our own portfolio. We'll talk about some of that here at the 11:30 hour. Of course, if you're joining me at 1 o'clock, we're going to go through everything. But a huge Wall Street name that's getting on the crypto bandwagon. We got to talk about that. All right. Also, Exxon Mobil. Can you believe these guys turned into a crypto stock? We got to talk about that. We're going to dig into our charts. I want to show you, I got a couple of different ways I want to look at charts to go back and say, I told you so. All right. And of course, we're going to answer some of your questions, as many as we can, right here off the chat, both in the Money Morning Live Room and for my YouTube subscribers. So, hey, Eric, how's your weekend go?
Oh, Tom, it was a nice weekend. I actually traveled out here to Baltimore. I'm hanging out in the office, a little bit of a different space. Excited to be broadcasting from here for the week. How about you?
Yeah. Look at you, dude, with the haircut. You're high and tight.
You know, every 2 weeks, man, you got to keep up with it, you know?
I got my military OG watch with my OG green.
Looking good, looking good.
I feel like Zelensky. You know, we're all wearing OG green shirts now.
You guys are ready for the battle.
Dude, speaking of the battle, did you check out the Oscars last night?
You know, I didn't see it, but I heard about it. I went to YouTube and I found the clip. Was that real or was that staged? What do you think?
I'm going to tell you. So I don't watch the Oscars. I could care less about them, honestly. You know, and we were surfing around just looking. In fact, you know what? You want to know where I was watching? I was watching financial news to see what was going on overseas last night. And I was looking at some of the overseas numbers, and all of a sudden, my phone started lighting up. My wife's phone started lighting up, and we saw this. Will Smith. I mean, this is what the headline said: Will Smith hits Chris Rock at live Oscars. And of course, I'm looking to see what time is it? Is it over yet? I'm looking to dial in. I'm telling you, I don't know, well, I guess you look at it, it does not look like it was something that was staged. But I got to tell you, I bet a bunch of people tuned in after 11 o'clock. Probably the best ratings they had in a decade that happened in the back part of that show.
Probably.
I think everyone wants to see what happened next.
Yeah, so, never good to get a slap in the face like that, but who knows? We'll find out eventually. We'll figure it out.
No. Hey, I have a question for everyone that's out there watching us today, and that is, who tuned in to last week's anniversary that we did with Money Morning Live? Who out there, if you were at YouTube or if you're at Money Morning Live, and most of you at Money Morning Live had a better chance to tune in because it was closed circuit right there on Money Morning Live. But who out there is tuning in or tuned in last week? Did any of you catch my little 10-minute piece of the action? Eric, what are you seeing?
Looking right now. There were a ton of people that tuned in. I mean, that was the anniversary event. People were there. They saw you.
It was.
And from what I know, people enjoyed it, which is awesome.
And there's people on the program right now that have been here since that anniversary, since that first show. I was not, okay? So I want to just do a quick little rundown for those of you that didn't. And I'm talking about maybe 2-minute rundown before we get into what we want to do today.
Let's do it.
I did a session on volatility, and I will talk more about that tomorrow, okay? And I talked about Operation Surge Strike, okay? I talked about how what we do is we are pattern traders. We do things differently. I trade different than most people, okay? I have a certain way of looking at data and looking for patterns that repeat themselves over and over again. So if you tuned in, you got a chance to see what we do with Operation Surge Strike. And I was talking to Garrett about it. And, here's some things you might not know, okay? Year to date, that particular service, that short-term service in the stock market, best ROI for an alert service across the board, period. That was last week. Here's what you'd probably, maybe you knew that. Here's something I'm sure you don't know. Not even my best, okay? We have an alert service, which I'll talk about later in the week, that is 61%. We're up 61%, and this is a weighted average, winners, losers, looking at ROIs, and then just basically adding up all the ROIs, the good ones and the bad ones, and you get that mean average. All right, up 61%, 78% for the closed positions for 2022. So, and the other thing I talked about too was I flashed this on the screen last week, and I want to talk about it a little bit more. So, this is another publication. It's not Money Map Press. It's a competitor. It's one of their competitors, because publishers, a competitor like the New York Times and the New York Post, those are two newspapers competing against each other. All right, this is a competitor. I'm not going to name names, but every year they do a Reader's Choice Awards. So what they do is they have their readers go out and vote on things like best stock trading systems, best software, best mobile apps, etc. So I'm looking at this and I'm reading it, and I look on page 36 of this particular publication, and I see best option trading systems. And of course, the winners are like the Goliaths out there: Thinkorswim, TradeStation. And then I see our company on here. It's right here, Eric. The Optionetics, the company that I founded, that I co-founded. And we're in here under option trading systems, the best of the best. So I was excited to see that, but more importantly, it's very interesting, when a competitor out there who does not have to say anything about us, talks about us. I said something last week, and I want to add on a little bit. I said, we don't even advertise Brutus, so we don't advertise the service. And what I meant by that is outside of the room, outside of the group we're talking to right now. Okay. And for the readers to mention us and get us on that awards list I think that's amazing. And I want to thank those of you that are on the program that also subscribe to that publication or read that publication, because we have nothing to do with it. We don't give them any data. We don't give them any articles. We don't give them anything. And for us to still show up on there, I thought it was quite amazing. Okay, enough about that. Enough about last week. Let's go ahead and get into our market update. So here's the next question for everybody watching right now live. Here it comes. How many of you are in here and are live or long Bitcoin, long Ethereum? Okay, and you got long recently. Let's say you got long a month or two ago. Let's say you got long when I stepped up, and I have plenty of Bitcoin. I have plenty of Ethereum. I have plenty of cryptocurrency, but I stepped in and put a six-figure dollar amount down live on this program. All right. Not this exact program, but live on Monday Morning Live. And I showed everybody that I put some big skin in the game. And I have bigger skin, but I want to show everybody that at that level, those levels in the 38,000 level, that I was willing to step up to the plate, put a big number down, and here we go, guys. Here we go. Where are we at right now? Let's take a look at a live shot. So we've got Bitcoin at 47.5 right now, all right? It's been going from 47.5 to 40. I mean, it almost hit 48. So who else is with me? Who's out there with me? And Eric, give some shout outs for the folks that are long crypto and finally getting something to cheer about.
We got Sandy. We have some new members that are in it with you, Tom. Guy from Southern California is there. Looks like a bunch of people are there with you guys in Bitcoin. Listen, I'm happy about the prices going up as well. This is a good day in crypto.
This is a good day. This has been a good weekend. We've been following all weekend, and we saw it move above 45,000 over the weekend. And you know what I've been saying, guys? I've been saying 45,000 is a big key, all right? But, hey, let's not do the dance. Let's not do the moving on up dance, okay? Slow down. We got a long way to go with this one. But now what I've got to see, and it looks like the probabilities get very good from here. What I want to see is I want to see 45,000. I want to see us above 45,000 for a couple of days. Sitting at 47.6, 47.8. I'm sure a lot of people are saying on their mind, I mean, this is the greed coming out. When's it going to hit 50? When's it going to hit 50? That's what everybody's saying right now. I mean, it could hit 50 next week. It could hit 50 tomorrow. It could hit 50 later today. I'm not worried about 50, okay? I'm worried about 45. I want to see 45 I want to see 45 build as support, because if it does that, it's going to do something it has not done all year long. Because the last couple times it hit 45, it was up and down, up and down. I think we saw it hit 45 2 or 3 times this year, up and down. So I love it. I know a lot of us are probably doing the dance right now. That's great. But when it comes to these big coins, got to hang out, guys. The small coins had some huge moves, huge moves. And you know what? I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here coming into today. Let me bring up my microcurrency trader app. And I just want to show everybody on the screen what I'm talking about. Look at this, Eric. You see that?
That's a lot of green right there, Tom.
338%.
Nice.
One of our coins up 37% here in the last 24 hours. And we've got that one in the portfolio. I'm looking to see, even Shiba, which I got it on my screen now, but I don't see it as a tradable coin that we want to put into the mix yet. That's up 14%. But we've got coins in our portfolio that are near the top of that screen. And we'll get into them, guys. We're going to get into some the big ones at least. All right. So let's start off with a snapshot of the portfolio right now. So take a look at this, and this is based on what happened here. This doesn't even include this morning. So Eric, throw that image up on the screen.
We got you there, Tom. It's all up. Can you see it all right?
You want to take it? You want to take it from here?
Well, yes, I sure can. I don't want to pop I'll pop myself over everybody right here. So we have KNC. These are the symbols that we're in right now. KNC, ZEC, Ethereum, SNX, DOT, Bitcoin, KNC again, and Cardano. Now, there's a lot of trade instructions that go along. I'm going to move myself so you guys can see, but June 1st, 2021, using your Coinbase or Binance account, the entry date's 6/1, entry price is $1.77, and the last price is $3.12. It's a 76.6% gain. That's the biggest one on our list today. It's massive. You want me to go through all these, Tom? I definitely will if you like.
No, you don't have to. I just wanted to, keep in mind, if you see there that KNC, we've got that on there twice. I'll talk about a trade, or when we get into a strategy, I'll talk about how we get more than one signal on the same coin. We'll do that today. But this is our microcurrency. For those of you that are sitting here saying, "Hey, I didn't get these." If you didn't get them, you're not part of Microcurrency Trader. Okay. And this is what we're seeing. These were the biggest movers coming into the weekend, and that's Zcash, Ethereum. Ethereum was on here. When you get a coin like Ethereum that's a big mover, it just means that, to me, it just means like that we're going to see these smaller coins start to make, like KNC, these big moves. By the way, KNC, we're getting close to an exit because we're higher than that 76.6. We are going to be seeing an exit very soon on KNC, right? Ethereum, that 3108, it ain't 3108 anymore. It's in the 33s. Let me go take a look and see where we are with Ethereum right now. 3375 was the last signal that I got. So, you can see these numbers are just moving like crazy, when I look at them all. So there's Bitcoin, which has had a big move. This moved up a lot as well. Ethereum, KNC is one of our big movers. Zcoin is one of our big movers. And I'm just looking for one more. That's what I'm looking for right there. Okay. So and probably the one that really, it hasn't gone up and moved at all. And I thought it was going to move a lot more. And these are the longer term coins. We have talked about DOT. Polkadot, we've talked about ADA, and we had a microcurrency buy on ADA at $1.06. and that's up. Okay, we had a microcurrency buy on Polkadot at $18.68, and that's up. But longer term, we're looking at these. I have a spot on Polkadot. I've got $100 target on that one. Long term on ADA. We've got $5, $10 targets on these long term, but they're just getting started. So for those of you that are part of microcurrency trading, we're going in and we're finding what we believe based on our AI, the best time to get into these. So the image that Eric put on the screen, okay, that's our tradable images. That's our tradable coins. That's not the ones that we're buying and holding for, those long-term holds. These are actual trade coins. So in summary, look at all that green, and it has expanded since then. Okay, KNC still on top. Core assets. Our core assets were also in the black. And I mean, practically everything rose in double digits from where it was. All right. Not ROI, but from where it was Thursday, Friday of last week to where we are now. Everything's going up double digits. This is good news, guys. It doesn't matter whether you just got started in microcurrency or cryptocurrency and you're seeing this bump up, or if you rode it down since November. Okay, because we had those all-time highs in November, and we've seen pullbacks. But what you're seeing right now is what I believe to be the start of the new bull market for everything cryptocurrency. So we got key levels. I'm watching some of these on the charts. Let's take a look at some overall charts. I want to look at Bitcoin. I want to look at Ethereum. And you know what? We'll take a look at Doge too, and then we'll get into the news. So let's take a look at each of those. So I'm going to start with Bitcoin. Here we are. Now, I got to go back a little bit more. So I want to look at a 150-day chart of BTC, because that's going to take us right here, folks, right here at this high. This is that all-time high. And for those of you that are new, give me a shout out if you're brand new and you're watching me for the first time today, or maybe you're coming back after a long hiatus somewhere else. So Eric, get a look at who's new in the room. And the reason why I'm asking who's new is because I want to show you where we were with Bitcoin, where we've gone, and where I believe we're going to go to.
Yeah, right? Tom, we have JD, we have Mary Jane, we have a couple of new members. 66 Bus is not new. A bunch of new people here, and it seems that we have new people every single day, which is incredible. So sometimes we have to retrace a little bit so people understand what we're doing here.
Yeah, so welcome to the program, all of you that are brand new. Take a look what I'm showing you right now. So if you go back and you look at maybe you look at Coinbase, okay, and you look at where Bitcoin was on Coinbase, and I'm going to actually go to Coinbase, and I'm going to go to, this is my Coinbase, by the way. So I'm going to go to a daily, and you can see where we are today, that little gap up we had today from yesterday. But I want to take us all the way back to November. Okay, so you may not be able to see it, but when I put my mouse on that chart, the high was 69,000 even. That was the high. Somebody paid 69,000 for a Bitcoin or for a partial amount of Bitcoin. And they have got to see their coin get cut in half, okay? They saw the coin get cut, literally get sliced in half, more than so. But now they're starting to see some movement. This is a very pivotal day today, guys, and I'm going to tell you why. Yes, we're above the 45,000 mark, but this is the more important thing. If you take a look at the close, because we look at closing prices, on all of our assets, on everything I follow, I look at closing price. I don't look at all-time high, and I don't look at all-time low. Those were stabs up. That's the greed. That's the greed piece, okay? When you look at a candlestick, the wicks are greed and fear. The wick up is greed. The wick down is fear. The wick down happened a couple of days after the low and took us down into, and I'm showing you the area that was under January when we were trading down in the 33s, because I have 35,075 as the closing low. And that got stabbed a couple of times. It got stabbed again near the beginning of March. But look at what's happened just in the month of March, which are closing up in just a few more days. We've gone from a low of 35,000 to now hitting 47.6, right, on the screen, the snapshot that I have, 47.6. Look at this price right here, Eric. I'm blowing it up because it's very important. Now, we get above the 47.48. Then what we've done is we have now had a Fibonacci retracement. And we've had a Fibonacci retracement. Now, this is an important area because this is a very, very key resistance point off of the all-time highs to the pullback. Key resistance, 47,480. Key resistance, 51,312. Key resistance, 55,144. These are the three most important numbers that you need to be looking at as a technical, as technical numbers here for Bitcoin. Now, there are different ways that other people look at this. Okay, Nick Black, a fundamental investor in cryptocurrency. All right, he's not a technical trader, and he makes that known very well. And you know what? I respect everybody who is out there and who is doing it and doing it their way. Okay, their way. I have my way of doing things, and we have a lot of folks here who are part of Money Map Press and part of Money Morning Live, and they know what they're doing, and they do it their own specific way. All right, I have ways of doing things that I do, and some of you follow me, and I thank you for putting your trust in my research. So my research is telling me right now this is a very important area that we've got to get through and close above. So I like 45,000 because it's a round number, and that was round number resistance. And you can see it here, and you can see it here. And then you can see it here as we ran through Sunday. We blew through Sunday, and here we are getting some follow through. And this is all happening, folks, in a mixed stock market today. Dow was down. S&P and NASDAQ were slightly up the last time I looked. All right, so we got a mixed market, and yet all of the favor is going into Bitcoin. All of the favor is going to Ethereum. All right, everybody is starting to shift into these coins, and cryptocurrency is acting like it should have been all this time, Eric.
Tom, I have a question for you, and maybe for the newbies in the chat as well. So these lines that you have marked here, 47,451, once Bitcoin reaches those lines, you feel that there's some type of support there, and that it's a confident space for you when they get to those lines. Is that how you're saying this?
Yeah. So what we've got to look for now is we've got to look for a close above 47,480, and then right now this is a Fibonacci resistance line. So the way that if you look at Fibonacci and you look at things like Fibonacci and Gann, these are the more eccentric mathematicians that they looked at time, and they also looked at price. And so I'm more of a fan, Eric, of what I like to call forward-looking indicators. A forward-looking indicator is one that we all as technical traders rely on past data to help give us these key indicators. But some I like to call forward-looking, and some are more trailing. Okay, a moving average is a trailing indicator, although we can use moving averages and create buying and selling opportunities as well. But this is a trailing indicator where we take the distance between a high and a low, and then we take 38%, 50%, and 61% of that move. So when you see this move that goes from 67.5 down to 35, and you start to pull back, you take 38% off this drop. That's what's giving us the 47,480. You take 50% of this drop, and then you bring that up, and that's what gives us the 51,312. 61%, 55,144. So when I look at this, we're kind of going through our own stoplight here. This is the red zone. We're coming out of the red zone now. Now we're getting into the cautionary area. All right, cautionary meaning that we could dip back into the red zone, but this is an area where now we're going to start to see, what really Bitcoin is made of as a coin, technically. Let's take a look at one more, Eric, And I want to bring the same chart, the same type of analysis, but we're going to look at Ethereum. In fact,
Love
I
it.
said I was going to look at Doge. We'll look at Doge too. But let's look at Ethereum. Second biggest ETH, second biggest coin by market cap in the group. Take a look at Ethereum, and you're going to see something that I like even more. All-time highs, all-time closing high, 48.10. All-time or pullback from the all-time high, 24.12. Now, you can see down here, we stabbed in a few times. And boy, we really stayed around that 24.12 for about a week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. We hit that mark. Then we bounced above. We didn't quite get to that 33 or that 38% retracement. We fell right back down, and we tested once again. We stabbed in and came back. And then look at here. We got close around the middle of March. But look at what Ethereum has been doing in just the last couple weeks, okay? This is March 12th, and we were still trading in the $2,500 area. We've gone from 2,500 to 33 and change, 33.75 in a matter of just a couple of weeks. That's a huge move. You want to see what else I see? We're pretty decisively above the 38% retracement, which tells me that Ethereum is the more bullish of the cryptocurrencies, right, of the big ones. 33.28.55. That's the first point of resistance. 36.11 is the second. That's the 50% retracement. 38.94 is the third. Where are we at right now? I've got a close of 33.77 as of this print that we see here for Ethereum. Okay. So once again, I take a look at this, and, you know, if I were to, like, let me become an artist for a moment, Eric. Is it okay if I become an artist for a moment?
I would love to see how well you draw.
All right. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to take a snapshot of this screen right here. All right. And now I'm going to grab that. Okay, I got it. Now, let me do this. Let me see what I can do here with this this little snapshot. Give me just a moment.
Take your time. It's worth waiting for. We'll delay the crypto news. No big deal at all.
Yeah, we got
this is important stuff.
So check this out. So you should be able to see this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do some highlighting. Now, I'm going to highlight. This is the red area right down here, guys. So this is the area where, you know, this is kind of a spot. Like I said, this is the spot where we call that the red zone. We get in, you know, we're still technically bearish in this point, but we're now entering what I call the cautionary area. And the cautionary area is the 38, the 50, and the 61% area, where we're now entering this phase. Now, we could turn around and go back down again, all right? But I really love what's been going on with cryptocurrency the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to share one more chart with you because this is all important stuff. Then here's where we want to be, Eric. Look, I can tell you this. I don't care if you follow me. I don't care if you follow Eric. I don't care if you follow Nick Black. We all want to be in this area. I don't care what you're using. We all want to be up here.
Tom,
in Ethereum, we all want to be up here in Bitcoin, because these are the oceans that are going to lift the boats. These are the tides that are going to lift the boats of alt currencies. You might say, well, why do we trade alt currencies? Because alt currencies can jolt in any moment. That's why, you know, we see I'm looking at it right now. We're looking at AVT. That's why AVT is up 338%. All right, when you see a little move that's happened here just in the last day, right? You know, and I look at things like BCN, and I see DNT. And DNT is one of the names in our microcurrency trader, up 37% recently on just a little move that we're getting in Ethereum. All right. So did that help it at all, Eric, by colorizing these?
Definitely. I like the visuals, man. It was perfect.
It really gives you an idea what, how what I'm looking at. I just wanted to colorize it for everybody so they could see it too. All
Thanks,
right.
Tom.
So, with that being said, let's talk about some of the news that could be driving the prices over the weekend. All right. So,
Yes.
Eric, why don't we
I got
take it away here? I mean, I'm always tracking this, what I like to call the crypto adoption phase. And I like to track it on Wall Street because Wall Street's not going to let Bitcoin and Ethereum go up without trying to grab and take their piece of it. And so this is why we've started following crypto stocks. This is why we started following people that are in the institutional phase. So let's talk about another rumor we heard that came up recently. Reports have started to come out over the last month, but now it's official. Larry Fink. All right.
Yeah.
Big name. Big name.
This one right here, I'll read it for everybody. A less discussed aspect of the war is its potential impact on accelerating digital currencies. As we're increasing interest from our clients, BlackRock is studying digital currencies, stable coins, and the underlying technologies to understand how they can help us serve our clients.
Yep. Those of you that don't know who Larry Fink is, that BLK, that's BlackRock. Okay. He's the chairman of BlackRock. This is his annual letter to shareholders. So we happen to scrape that right there off the web. And, BlackRock doesn't spend a lot of time talking about cryptocurrency, but they're doing more and more. It's starting to creep into their space more and more. But here's what's happened recently. Give you an idea. BlackRock has, over $9 trillion in assets under management. So if you take a look at that versus, okay, now I don't know this for sure. I'm going to throw a number out there, but I got to imagine that's double what Charles Schwab has of assets under management with all of their clients. Okay. And that's based on my feeble brain trying to remember what they have under assets. But I think that's more than double. And you can see that BlackRock's, they might not be a household name. All right. They're not a Goldman Sachs. They're not a JP Morgan. They're not a Wells Fargo. But they're becoming more and more of a name if you tune into financial, the big financial mainstream media. They're a big name when it comes to Wall Street. So that's important to know, and we talk about, when we talk about equities, we talk about stocks. I wanted to start off with, with BlackRock, because that was a big news feature. Now let's talk about equities for a moment. Here's one that I don't think anybody would have thought these guys were going to become a crypto stock.
Yeah,
but Exxon Mobil is now part of the club. Eric, take it away.
Exxon is mining Bitcoin in North Dakota as part of its plan to slash emissions. What do you think of this plan?
Well, as a Bitcoin miner, I never thought of mining Bitcoin as emissions. As you look at it, where are these emissions coming from? Well, they're, because when you mine cryptocurrency, you use electricity. You're using processing. You're obviously doing something that has, what we call a carbon effect. But let me tell you something. There are a lot of other things that are being mined, like electricity. Everyone says that, Eric, that EV is the green way to go. Last time I checked, and I might be wrong about this, but, a good bit of our electricity comes from coal.
This is true.
So, I'm not going to get into it because this is not a topic I'd like to debate with some of our viewers out there that probably know a little bit more about this than I do. But I'm just saying, there's when you look at Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin is, it's not the greenest way. As a miner, I mined Bitcoin years and years ago. But like I said, you wouldn't think this would slash emissions. But
we do have a little more on it here as well.
Talk about the part of this article which makes you think twice.
Yeah, diverting natural gas that would otherwise be burned off into generators, which convert the gas into electricity used to power shipping containers full of thousands of Bitcoin miners. A little bit of addition there.
They're using natural gas. And to me, what are the really clean? Think of nothing's clean. All right, Eric, let's get that completely out there.
Agreed.
I mean, this is part where I could debate a little bit, but nothing is clean. Okay, let me explain to you what we're on. Someone's going to say, "Wait a minute, the sun is clean." Yeah, okay, the sun's clean. The sun's clean, but did the sun make those solar panels sitting on the roof? No. Chances are China made a lot of those. Need I say more? Wind. Oh, Tom, but wind is clean. Yeah. What about the turbines? What about the wind turbine? Someone had to produce that wind turbine and make it. And oh, by the way, those wind turbines, they only have a lifespan on them of a certain amount of years. And then they end up in some garbage heap and not clean. Guys, we could go down this road and play this game for a while. But I will say natural gas, I think, is one of the cleanest ways. It's cleaner. Let's just say it's cleaner. And if you read what Eric said, diverting natural gas that would otherwise be burned off in generators, that would otherwise be burned off into generators. So basically what they're doing is diverting something that was going to be used somewhere else anyway. So I think that's a not a bad idea. Okay, so let's bring up a chart of Exxon for a moment. ConocoPhillips, they're also doing similar projects too. So it's not just them. But let's take a look at Exxon. I got a chart of it right here. So here's Exxon Mobil. Right now, I want you to follow the bouncing ball with me on Exxon. Exxon was moving higher in the beginning of the year. All right, because again, the price of oil was moving up. Bitcoin was moving down, and Bitcoin was moving down because it was moving like an asset, like the SPY. It was moving like an indice. Okay, it was trading like an asset. Then it caught its bottom. But here's kind of interesting. Right around February, we start seeing Exxon Mobil and Bitcoin kind of moving together. And now Bitcoin's on the rise, and so is Exxon Mobil. And so, as you can see here, Exxon is starting to move. Earnings are behind us now. So why is Exxon going up? Yes, part of it's because of what's happening in Eastern Europe. And part of it's happening because it is starting to move a little bit with our friend BTC. So that is Exxon. We can take a look at COP. I didn't look at it, but we'll take a look at it right now. Because we're all about bringing up stuff live and right on the fly. Again, you see the red and green candles of ConocoPhillips as it is making these higher lows and higher highs. You are seeing the black and white, which is the overlay of BTC and how it moves sideways for a duration, and now it's starting to break out and break up. As you can see, really, it started following the pattern. Did Bitcoin follow the pattern of ConocoPhillips, or did ConocoPhillips follow the pattern of Bitcoin? All right, I believe it's the latter of the two. So, Eric, what do you say we jump into strategy session and start looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum? And I will look at Doge too. I'm sorry I skipped it at the front part of the show. Thank you guys for calling me on that one. We'll look at Doge as well. But what do you say, Eric?
Yeah, let's do it. We're already ready to jump in there, man.
And also we'll be taking some questions here in a few minutes too. So for those of you that got questions on cryptocurrency, feel free to throw them in the chat box. I can promise you we're not going to get to everybody because we just have so many people that have questions and we have so little time on our show together. But if you're part of the program, whether you're on Monday Morning Live or YouTube, throw them out there now, and we'll try to nail through as many of them as possible. We got some already, too, that we're going to be highlighting that we want to show as well. So let's start with real quick here. This is BTC. Now, Eric, you see that B down here?
I do, Tom. What is that?
That B does not stand for Bitcoin. That B stands for buy.
Okay, that's your buy marker right there.
Yeah, that's a buy marker right there. Okay, let me show you Ethereum. ETH. All right, here's ETH. Well, there was a sell back here. but no buy. But you see that there's a potential buy signal right here for Ethereum. Let's throw that one up. That's our currency wave signal. Buy. All right. What else? How about Doge? DOGE. Doge had a buy signal popped a couple days ago. Let's see if Doge has another buy signal that's come up recently. No. We're still in a buy. We're still in a longer term buy from Doge. And a lot of you do know that. Okay. So Doge hit 15 cents. Hit 15 cents just a few minutes ago. Finally, that thing hasn't seen 15 cents since February. It's been a little while. Maybe we're on the move of higher lows and higher highs finally with DOGE. We'll get back to that one in a moment because I want to talk about, again, I want to look at BTC one more time, and I want to share with everybody where this is coming from. All right. We talked about this last week. I had this on a highlight. In fact, Eric, I believe I gave it out as the idea, the coin that we to keep a watch on.
I believe
Did
you're
I
right.
not?
I believe it.
Yep. We
Confirmed.
said keep an eye on this one, but I said I needed to vet it. And for those of you that follow us, for those of you that are part of Microcurrency Trader, for those of you that are part of Microcurrency Trader and you're part of our lifetime program, and you get our app, our Microcurrency Trader app, you vetted it with me, and you saw that move, and you've seen what's happened since then. That's been a really nice slice in the Bitcoin, going from just below 41,000 to where we are right now. Okay, so how do we get this signal? This signal is based on something that we do, which I call Darknet and the 3 Ps. All right, and the 3 Ps are not Peter, Paul, and Patricia. Okay, the 3 Ps are channels, and we break those channels down. So Darknet is a channel technology. It is proprietary to me, to our little group. Okay, it's proprietary to no one else. None of the other folks with Money Map Press have this technology because this is based on my software. Okay, yeah, I have my own software. How about that? But what we do here is my artificial intelligence will go through and it will look at the long-term chart of any asset. It will look at the intermediate term chart of any asset. It will look at the short-term chart of any asset. And where it sees long, intermediate, and short colliding together, consolidating together, we get what we call a triple stack buy rating. And that's what we saw happen on Bitcoin this time last week. A triple stack buy came in. Well, you can see how profitable that was. All right, because where we were, which was 41,000, and where we are now, which is in the 47s, okay? We're hitting 15, 16% up just since last week. So that's all based on what we call channel collisions. Now, channel collisions are part of our Darknet proprietary strategy. Let's go through a couple of rules. Since I'm a rules-based trader, I want to share with you the rules that we use for Darknet. So first of all, number one, what is it? All right, it is a contrarian trading system. That means we trade against the herd. What have I been talking about for months now? I would have loved to have been talking about this for less than months, but it happened, okay? For months now. What's happened? We've seen Darknet, or we've seen Bitcoin, we've seen Ethereum, we've seen a lot of cryptocurrencies dropping, okay? Cryptocurrencies in my portfolio dropping, cryptocurrencies in your portfolio dropping. And I said, wait until you start to see, this is when you're going to see a bottom. When everybody's bailing out of cryptocurrency and everyone's saying it's going to zero, it's not real, this is fake, this is like Beanie Babies, I've heard that said too, and it's going to drop just as fast as it went up. When you start hearing that nonsense and it stops falling, then you've eradicated the majority of the sellers, okay? And what did the sellers comprise of? Well, let me just say this real quick. Cryptocurrency is manipulated. There is a few people out there that hold the majority, and they can turn the key and make that thing drop in an instant. So if you can't stomach the kind of moves in cryptocurrency, then either A, you trade less of it, or B, you get out. right? You have to be able to stomach 80 to 85% moves in this space, because that's what it did in 2011 to 2014. That's what it did from 2014 to 2017 or into 2018. And that's what it did from 2018 to our 2021 high and has pulled back over 50%. You got to be able to stomach those moves. Okay. What we do differently is we look for points where we're getting triple stacks. We look for points where we're getting currency wave crossovers. We look for points where we're seeing Fibonacci support. And that's what we do, guys. And where it differs is our signals are steadfast. So if you're looking at a signal like ours versus, say, an Elliott wave, all right, these are steadfast signals. They never change. It's a buying strategy only, which is fantastic. It works very well for cryptocurrency because you can't short physical coins. You can only buy them and sell them. Okay, and because of that, that's why I believe this works so well in this space. So when we look at Darknet, that's why when I go back and I look and I see Bitcoin making the move here, all right, and getting those just this runaway explosion, 47,600, all right, where we're seeing that move right now. That's what gets me excited as a trader is that, do you know, and I don't have time to do this, but I'm going to do it at 1 o'clock. Do you know how many coins, Eric, in the last week got these Darknet 3P buys? I mean, more than I have fingers on both hands. We had a lot of pop-ups, and those of you that have lifetime access, you saw those pop-ups, you saw those moves that we had. So that's what we do. All right, that's how we find these opportunities. And I'm going to share with you guys something in about 10 minutes. I want to show you what our year-to-date numbers look like on Microcurrency Trader for 2022. All right, we're going to look at the 2022 move. All right, part of that includes the move to the downside and the move back up. And I'm going to share with you a quick little snapshot. And for those of you that are part of Microcurrency Trader, I'm going to blur the coins. I don't want to show the open positions to everybody. You'll get a look at them. We'll look at them at 1 o'clock. But I do want to share with the group what's happened since January 1st. All right, how many coins we put on since January 1st, and where they are coming into today. All right. So Eric, let's take some questions. Let's take a look and see what we got going on out there in terms of questions, comments, etc.
Let's get into it. We have this question about defining crypto stocks. So this member is asking, where can I find a list of crypto stocks?
Well,
so stocks,
a couple ways. If you want to find a list of the stocks that I use, then you want a Coinbase account, because I'm only going to trade stuff that's in Coinbase, and I can see the assets that trade in Coinbase just by going to Coinbase.com and looking at the assets. Now, if you don't have a Coinbase account and you're just getting started, okay, let me share with you another place you could go to. That would be CoinMarketCap.com. That's another place you could go to. Here it is. All right, www.coinmarketcap.com. Let me see if I can blow that up so that everybody can see that. Eric, if you could type that in. You have the technology, don't you?
I can, and I will.
CoinMarketCap.com.
It's the go-to.
Throw that in the screen. And you know what? While you're doing that for the folks on Monday Morning Live, I should at least do that for the folks that are all over there on YouTube. There you go, CoinMarketCap.com. There's folks on YouTube right now going, oh, wait, he is live. He put something out in the chat box. This isn't a recording. All right. So that's how you could get a list of the top coins by market cap. So that's something that we can look at too. Eric, while I'm at it, let me just take a quick little look here and see
what's going on YouTube.
Bro, what's your prediction for NASDAQ when the market closes? This guy called me bro.
What is the prediction, bro?
You know what he sounds like? He sounds like my daughter's boyfriend. He calls me bro.
Uh-oh.
I looked at my wife, I go, this guy called me bro.
That might be a problem, Tom. You got to talk to that kid.
Anyway, you know what? My prediction for the NASDAQ when the market closes, I don't look at them that short term. And let's revisit that. Come and join me again tomorrow when we're talking about stocks. And I'll look at the NASDAQ and I'll look at the Qs, and then we'll see what happens there. All right. And Tsunami Bravo says Tom is the GOAT. Tom Brady's the GOAT. I might eat grass every once in a while. But thank you very much, though, for that comment. I really appreciate that. Eric, what do you have? You have anything else up there?
Of course.
That a highlight?
I have two more for you that we already have pre-made here. Teresa and Mike asking, is Nvidia on your list?
Is Nvidia on the list? Yep. Nvidia is on the list of crypto stocks. And, I got stock charts up here. So let's take a look at Nvidia real quick, NVDA. And I'm actually going to put it up there right next to Bitcoin. Look at that. You want to talk about something that's moving with Bitcoin? There you go. Does that tell you anything more you need to know, Eric? I mean, you see
it all.
The moves up and down. They're literally hugging each other. Now, this is where Bitcoin made the pop compared to Nvidia, but it dropped right back down. And then you can see here the bottoming that's happening with Bitcoin. You can also see the bottoming that happened with Nvidia. Nvidia made a run, and it brought itself back up to Bitcoin. It's pulled back a little bit, but take a look at what happened with BTC. It jumped up. And this is now what is different on this chart. I want to make sure everybody knows this, is that you see that big gap up. What that is this is Friday's close and this is Monday's open. So you don't see the Saturday and Sunday when I'm pairing up BTC to any stock chart. I have to eliminate Saturday and Sunday so that these come together. So that's why you see these gaps that happen sometimes from a Friday to Monday. But otherwise, it's hugging it really good. All right. What else do you got?
You have this one as well, Tom, and it's about buying XRP and where to find it. And again, you could use that website that you just mentioned, coinmarketcap.com, where you could find everything out. Now, I did just look it up, so I'm going to answer this for you, Tom. When I went to coinmarketcap.com, I found out that you could buy it from Binance, KuCoin, BitHub, Gate.io, FTX, and, well, Binance again. So I didn't know the answer to that. Went over to the website. It was right there. It's kind of your encyclopedia for crypto if you are looking for things like that.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, and, I like to say that I use nothing but my own tools, but I would be lying to you if I didn't. I mean, I do use CoinMarketCap, and we look at CoinMarketCap especially for the fundamentals, especially for the overview. If you want a good overview of the top 100 coins and then some, that's a great place to start. And that actually brings me up to another question that's being asked in YouTube, and is that Stella's asking, I want to learn more. I want to know more about cryptocurrencies. And where do I find that information? Well, I can tell you right now, Stella, you're in the right place, because every Monday from 11:30 to 12:30, I'm here to help you out to learn more about cryptocurrencies. You can also visit us. There's a lot of information. All you got to do is go to moneymappress.com, and you can see I have a lot of articles out there on cryptocurrency. Nick Black also has a lot of articles on cryptocurrency. I'm more on the technical side. He's more on the fundamentals side. It's kind of like, get your chocolate out of my peanut butter. Hey, no, you put your chocolate in my peanut butter. It's just two different ways to trade. What I think the two of us blended together have a great analysis coming from different sides of the fence. But we have some great info that we would love to share with you, and you can get it all right here. All right, you can get it all right here. And I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but I'm working on something with crypto stocks that allows us to go in both directions, to pull the bearishness out of cryptocurrency without because you can't short Bitcoin, right? You can't short Ethereum, but we can get in there and we can get bearish on a couple of these, and we can hedge a couple of these. We can go delta neutral on a couple of these. And I'm doing some stuff, and I want to share it with you down the road. And just be on the lookout, because we're going to be doing a lot more with cryptocurrency than just Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the altcoins that we're working with right now. All right, Eric, any other questions?
I have one more that I think you should grab right from the chat here. It's from Winner asking. They're saying they have a Coinbase and a Coinbase Pro account. You've talked a lot about how the fees have changed and how the system has changed. Do you recommend people switching out of Coinbase Pro into Coinbase, or is it really a personal preference? Is there a benefit to one or the other at this point?
I think it's a personal preference. I'm going to be moving. Just my personal preference is that I'm going to be moving from Coinbase Pro to Coinbase. I've just been too lazy to do it. That's not true. I've just had too many other things going on right now in my life. But it doesn't take that long. It's just that the ADD that goes on in my brain, and I'm looking at 10 things at once. One day I'm going to be able to drop that down to looking at 9 things at once, and I'll have that extra space in my mind to say, hey, it's time to make that change. Let's do it. That's my personal preference. I want to see all that under one roof. There's no reason to have both of these in my mind, unless you're trying to separate maybe Bitcoin from Ethereum, or you're just trying to keep them distanced so you can see the performance of one versus the other. But to me, you can do all that under one name.
I agree. You can.
So, Eric, let's move to. We only got a couple minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting to the end of the show. I want to take a look at. I got one more thing I want you to put up on the screen. And
there you are.
This is a serve up. I'm serving right now. Ready? I'm serving up our microcurrency trader open recommendations for 2022 with you. Now, immediately, everyone that if you came in late, you're probably looking at this and saying, wait a minute, I can't see this, Tom. I can't see the name of the coin. I can't see the symbol of the coin. I can see that you're long all these coins. I can even see when you opened these. But I can't see anything else. But I do see the gains over there on the right-hand side. Well, folks, this is for our microcurrency traders, and I'm going to be unveiling all the blurs at 1:00. But and of course, I got to show all the 2021 stuff too. So we're going to get into that as well. But we started out Thursday night talking about open and closed trades. We were doing some transparency, and we were showing you open positions, right? And we were showing you our year-to-date numbers for 2022. I didn't get a chance to show year-to-date numbers for 2022 microcurrency trader. This right here even beats everything we saw on Thursday. Everything. And guess what? That's not even the best, because I'm going to talk about later in the week the one that has the 61% open positions for 2022. Those are the current open positions. I'm going to talk about the one that has 78% closed return on investment, unweighted, winners, losers, all combined for 2022. Got to talk about that too. So again, for those of you that wondered why wasn't Tom part of the bundle last week, I got my own bundle, okay? You want to join me on my bundle? You can do it, all right? There are ways to do that, guys. Go out right now. You got a phone number that's popping up on the screen. You see it right there, 877-212-9163. You can call and ask about my bundle. Maybe you didn't know I had a bundle. I got a bundle, right? Also, I'm sure that if you raise your hand in the chat box, you can always pop on in and see one of the folks and tell them you're interested in the bundle, and they'll tell you all about it and the special offer that we have for those of you watching right now. All right. Hey, I'm Audi 5000, everybody. I will see those of you at 1 p.m. when we'll get into more detail on microcurrency trader. Otherwise, same time, same channel tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. I'll see you then. Bye, everyone.